Greetings, dear friends. So, we are now in Leviticus chapter 11, and the first 10 chapters of Leviticus they deal with lofty matters to do with priests and sacrifices. And from here, from the 11th chapter to the next 5 chapters, we can read about mundane matters to do with ordinary and everyday life of the people. It tells us that God is concerned about our spiritual growth as well as our physical well being. That God is concerned about our spiritual matters and also about the mundane matters of life. Chapter 11, Leviticus chapter 11 talks about the clean and unclean animals that can be eaten and animals that cannot be eaten. And we can give a title like dietary restrictions because it restricts us from eating certain animals. And these dietary restrictions actually help us avoid some health hazards. So it is good to follow some dietary restrictions in our life. But more importantly, we should remember Jesus' words in Matthew chapter 15, verse 11, where Jesus says, "It is not what goes into your mouth that defiles you. You are defiled by the words that come out of your mouth." So, not what you eat that defiles you, it's what you speak that defiles you, says Jesus. So, we should be careful about we eat, but more careful about what we speak. And King Solomon, I think, should have realized the importance of dietary restrictions, should have realized the importance of verbal restrictions also. That's why he says in Proverbs chapter 18, verse 21, he says, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and whoever loves it will eat its fruit." Okay, and about dietary restrictions, yeah, he talks about that in Proverbs chapter 23, verse 2. Okay, he says, "If you are a glutton, put a knife to your throat." Okay, if you're a big eater, put a knife to your throat. Why? If there is no dietary restrictions, more diseases, more health hazards, and in the similarly, if there are no verbal restrictions, we get into trouble. Okay, very often we get into trouble with people because we fail to restrict our tongue. Okay, our tongue is like a flame, but it can consume a forest, says James. Okay, so we need to be careful about what we eat, not just that. We should be more careful about what we speak. Yes, so Leviticus chapter 11, though it is kind of boring, giving us a list of animals, this, don't do this, don't eat this, yet we get very symbolic and spiritual meanings from Leviticus chapter 11. Okay, we will also remember Peter, who very religiously followed that. And when God gives Peter a vision about all the unclean animals, he says, we read that in Acts chapter 10, verse 14. "No, Lord," Peter declared, "I have never eaten anything that our Jewish laws have declared impure or unclean." But God has to tell him, "Come on, man, okay, more than what you eat or not eat. Now, what you're going to speak to these Gentiles, it's going to matter more. So go out." Okay, yes, that's what. Okay, so that's why God speaks to him again. Do not call something unclean if God has made it clean. And God repeats that vision thrice. Okay, and there he sees a Gentile group of Gentiles people inviting him, and he goes to the house of Cornelius, and it goes on. So what we learn is dietary restrictions are important, but more important are our verbal restrictions. God bless you.